Oh, I have so much love for the KGLT kids. I'm turning your microphone on so you don't have to sit there in quiet anymore. It
Hello,
is
hello.
time. Let me figure out our levels here. Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. If you're just tuning in, I am here in the studio with my friend Kyle Sorensen, also known as Hot Kyle.
So,
Did you give yourself that name?
no. It emerged organically. I guess I claimed it, but I'm a member of, the Last Best comedy community here in Bozeman, and I taught improv, and there was some improv warm-up with some students where I was doing something spicy.
Something spicy.
and they called me Hot Kyle after that, and I'm like, this works. I can run with this. This is funny.
I mean, I think the first time I heard you called Hot Kyle was like one of the Rocky Horror improv things a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't.
Last year? I don't know.
I only formally adopted it for myself a year and a half ago. It probably would have been.
It would have been
around
last
that time.
year.
Yeah.
It's right around then.
Yeah.
It's like that makes sense to me. Like had never seen you coming out in lingerie before, so
There's a lot of things that's happened in my recent life, I guess. That's super fun. The Rocky stuff was so fun.
So the reason Kyle is here today is we are talking about his upcoming album, the Kickstarter campaign. Kyle does many things in life.
I do.
You work for Montana PBS and do a lot of their marketing and things, right?
Yes, I'm the director of marketing for PBS.
Oh, hey, fancy.
Walked over here, campus to get to this station. So I'm going back right after this.
And then back to work,
Yeah.
lugging the guitar across campus. And then I've known you in the context of being a musician for a decade or more.
Yeah.
So when did some of these interests combine? Like, when did you start combining comedy with music?
Well, this current iteration is pretty recent. Only about right before the pandemic did I really start focusing on comedy music specifically. I was writing. I was kind of like a folk singer-songwriter-ish person before then, so I had a lot of experience writing, recording, producing music. And at the Verge Theater, which used to be on the edge of town, hence the name, I guess, at the time, they did this kind of experimental late-night show called Verge After Dark.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
I do,
yeah. And it was super casual, and the whole idea of the thing was to basically just come and do something scary in front of a bunch of people who would be supportive. And so I just every single month for 7 or 8 months, I just decided I would write a comedy song, and a few of them I wrote literally the day that I performed it. So I was trying to do stuff
doing something
scare
scary.
myself. One of them is a song I'm gonna play actually today, and the lion's share of it was written in 15 minutes before doing one of those shows. So,
would you say there was comedy in your songwriting before that?
yeah, I think. Well, it's funny because I've had to come to terms with the fact that I am indeed a comedian now. But I've always, had a sense of humor, and I think my songwriting sensibilities have always been kind of storytelling focused and character focused. And I've made songs that are light and funny, and even the songs that aren't funny, a lot of what my internal process is still coming from humor a lot of the time. So comedy music was a natural progression, but I kind of stumbled into this and realized I have a very specific, like Liam Neeson, a very specific set of tools for this particular kind of thing for writing comedy songs.
What does that require? What are your tools?
Well, I guess the first part would be the capacity to write music and compose, and that's something that I've been doing forever. I've been doing that since I was in middle school, and I have been doing improv with the Verge Theater originally, and now with Last Best Comedy for literally a decade now, and I've picked up tools and tricks and that kind of thing, and how one unearths funny ideas and how you develop them. And a lot of that has come from improv. A lot of it is understanding, like, I guess, the physics. Oh boy, I've never used that word before. The physics of comedy. Yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into the nerd stuff. Yeah.
I like the nerd stuff. Let's do it.
But a lot of it, a lot of things that are funny are you have to be specific. You have to give details. You can't be general. You have to be painting pictures, and you have to get a very clear sense of who a person is, and like a character that you're playing. And most comedic characters have some like sense of obsession or a narrow focus. That everybody can kind of understand, like what they're thinking, but can also understand that they're missing the point of a lot of other things. And that's kind of like the basis of all the songs on this album. They're different characters that have been discovered in different ways, but the thing that unites them is they all have like their kind of narrow obsessions and an inability to see how they look to the outside world. And so a lot of the comedy is the contrast between the music and what they're saying and what you as the audience can tell, like can understand as like what's actually going on.
So why the coolest kid in sex ed then? The name of this project is The Coolest Kid in Sex Ed. That is the website if you want to find the Kickstarter, find more information, coolestkidinSexEd.com.
Why the name?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a few phases, but the first and most important thing is I just that sequence of words occurred to me probably in the shower one morning, and it's funny. So that's the basis of it. But I perform a lot with Bex Frucht. She has this show that she does often at Laspis Comedy, but recently she's been doing it in Livingston as well, called TMI. Too much information, and it's a storytelling show, kind of like The Moth. And I do musical palate cleansing stuff in the middle of the show, and I had this like concept for The Coolest Kid in Sex Ed. I made a song about it and I performed it there, and I realized like it comes with all kinds of fun bonuses because it paints this world of a 90s nostalgia. It gives me this whole kind of costume and character that I can inhabit. It's fun, and it kind of like serves as the glue to piece together all of these different songs that I did not write, with some kind of central theme in mind. But I kind of realized that, and as you'll hear when I play the song, it's about a person going through puberty, and in many ways, all these songs are just characters who are experiencing growing pains. I don't think we as adults ever really get through puberty. One of the things I have in my video is that I'm 40 years old and I'm going through second puberty right now. I'm 40 and now I'm finally discovering how to be a cool kid, like a high school cool
At least
kid.
how to be. I feel like I'm finally figuring out how to be an adult at like 41. So, yeah.
I might be regressing. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's it, too. So do you want to start there? Start with playing The Coolest Kid in Sex Ed?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can chat about it.
All right.
All right, here we go. Eighth grade PE class. I file to my seat. Open up my Trapper Keeper. Get set to learn about puberty. Brittany sits in the back, drawing doodles in her book, pointing at people's shirts, saying, "Made you look." She's so brilliant and beautiful, I know I don't have a prayer. But my heart melts when she quotes from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and she's the coolest kid in sex ed. Ooh. coolest kid in sex ed. Ooh. Diagrams and overheads, pelvic zone cross sections, lo-fi videotapes, bad rap songs about erections. I'm blushing, I'm so uneasy. But Brittany, she's so calm. Dylan asks, what you doing later? She comes back with your mom. She's so perfect and witty, her humor is beyond compare. I'm just another squeaky voice loser without pubic hair. And she's the coolest kid in sex ed. Ooh, the coolest kid in sex ed. Ooh. Oh crap, emergency. Teacher says I have to define STD. Now everybody's looking at me. Oh God, this is the big test. How do I impress the coolest kid in sex ed? The coolest kid in sex ed. Oh, well, I got to thinking all about how Will Smith got his start on the playground. How he was just playing b-ball outside of the school, and now he's the Fresh Prince, the king of cool. I decided then and there I had to be rad. I had to get jiggy, I had to be bad. I had to make a move, I had to make a play. So I turned my cap backwards, put on my shades, jumped up on my desk and yelled, I'm through. STD, more like FU. This class is whack. It's ludicrous. Why don't you go and suck my uterus? Yeah. Suddenly there's only silence. I must have screwed it up somehow. An eternity of ages pass, while sweat drips from my brow. But then Bernard yells, "Noise!" And Megan starts to clap. I realize this is my moment, and I moon the entire class. The students erupt in a cheer while the teacher dismays. Brittany chuckles, and that's when I know, at least for today, I'm the coolest kid in sex ed. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Applause of one. we're alone here in the studio. That's all he's got is one person to applaud. But happy to do it. If you are just tuning in, this is the Magic Mondays show on KGLT. I'm Rachel Hergate, here with Hot Kyle, a.k.a. Kyle Sorensen, a.k.a. the coolest kid in sex ed. And we are talking about his upcoming album project. The Kickstarter is launched. You are like over halfway funded at this point.
Yeah, and it launched on Saturday. So it launched it was halfway funded on day one, which is incredible. It totally blows my mind that happened. So
yeah, and if you're looking for more information on that, coolestkidinSexEd.com will take you there. You can watch videos, hear more, all sorts of things. You have a lot of information up there people can read.
Yes.
all of that. Yeah, coming out of the coolest kid in sex ed, the title track off this project. You said it kind of sets up this idea of having these 90s kids and they're so how does that play into the rest of the tracks on the album?
Well, it is more thematic. Well, I mean, there's a lot of spicy material. That one's actually on the I don't know, the sweeter end of the scale. All we get to in that one is basically mooning.
Mooning and uterus.
Yeah.
Talk about a uterus.
Yeah. he's learned his, he's doing a great job
Proper
paying attention
terms.
to that. But so that's a character who is he's caught up in anxiety, and he's really just trying to he wants to be cool, and he's in sex ed class. So it's the absurdity of just trying to be cool at all in a sex ed class.
What is it like to write that, at 40? To write about sex ed class and kind of put yourself back in maybe some of these high school days and memories.
It is me kind of returning back to my own middle school days for sure. Thinking back to like DARE, that great program that we did for a bit.
Shout out Mr. McCarver, Bozeman's DARE officer.
But a lot of it is also kind of like playing off of 90s tropes and things. I don't know if I ever actually had a trapper keeper, but you got to say that as opposed to like, I don't know, Notebook or something.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not Notebook is not 90s coded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Trapper Keeper, 100%. If it is a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper, then we're like really in there.
And I guess, like a lot of the process for writing these things is just doing a lot of writing of just details that you remember from, overheads, diagrams, pelvic zone cross sections is a fun set of words to sing. Everybody knows what that is, but I can't remember anyone ever having said it like that before.
Do you have notebooks of like fun phrases and things that you like draw from later?
Yeah, well, I kind of think of songwriting. I divide it into a few phases, but one of them is kind of like mining, where I just like dig out anything that I can from the internet or from my head, and I just kind of, if it was like, I think of it as like scrapbooking. Like if I was taking a bunch of magazines, I'd just be ripping out a lot of pages, and then I come back to it and I start to assemble it later on into a collage. Yeah.
What is funny to you?
What is
Hey.
A lot of things are funny to me. I've touched on it a bit as far as like, I think the core of a lot of these songs is just, I find these people very, I think emotions are funny. I think it's just, I think that the reason it's so funny that people have like such a narrow focus is that that's just true. That is what it is to be people. So like all of these characters, and I'll play a song in a bit about a frat bro kind of character, and there's aspects of it that you could like view as critically, but mostly I'm coming at it from sympathy. I'm not really critiquing these people. I mean, I am to the extent that it's funny, because you can tell that they're a little crazy in their own way, or they're missing the forest for the trees, most of them. But the fact that like they get so caught up in their own their world, I don't know. I find that endlessly funny. I think that's funny just in my day-to-day life, seeing all the ways in which people are like caught up on their one little thing that they gotta talk about. Like you bring up one, you hear a trigger word or something, and then it's like, then you get the prepared spiel regardless of what the context of the conversation was. All that kind of stuff is hilarious.
It is funny. Yeah. I'm like replaying some of those with different people in my head as you're talking. I was like, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and and it also, I think it helps me connect with people. It's a bonding thing. I think what humor does is it allows you to understand maybe how other people think or how they act, and even be critical of it, but not from a place of rage, not from a place of needing to shut them down. It's less likely to put people on the defensive if you interpret the world that way. And so it's good practice. It's good, you know, just hard for me to say like spiritual practice with the song, with songs like this, but I think there is something of that that's true.
Why is that important?
To connect with people?
Yeah.
Well, now we're getting to the deepest.
Yes, we are.
I kind of feel like because that's just what it is to be human. Yeah, I think that the reason life is worth living is to have relationships, to feel belonging, to you know, have a sense of like mattering to other people, and also caring for like you know that they matter to you, and you matter to them. One of the phrases that you hear in improv all the time is "I got your back," and that's, I think, I you know, that is just my core underlying driving philosophy for everything. I just I deeply crave this sense of solidarity with other people, and I just I'm convinced, whether or not people realize it or not, that is you know, that's what everybody wants on some level. That's how we are born and how we're raised, and maybe we develop defense mechanisms and we close ourselves off. But I think, you know, it feels good for everybody to feel like somebody's paying attention and connecting with them. So,
is there a difference in how it feels to connect with people through more comedic songs versus some of the former singer-songwriter type stuff?
Yeah, not only is there, it's crazy to me, this, because I used to write all of these sincere, I mean, I still play them. I've got a whole other
Very
thing
sincere.
that's nothing like this, that are just really, really nice, you know, singer-songwriter kind of things. And I've had more like truly emotional, deep responses from these raunchy comedy sex songs. I had a performance at a songwriter camp where people were coming up to me for the rest of, it was like a multi-day camp, and I played on the first day, and they were coming up to me for the rest of the event saying, like, thank you for being yourself. I needed to talk to you. All of these like deep, and it's, I don't know, it's like when you play a character or when you make fun of things, people still are able to kind of see who you are. They're able to distinguish between the character that you're playing and the joke, and people will often jump right over the joke when they come and talk to you, and they will talk about like what the actual song is. I have a song that I'm not going to play today, but it's about shopping in the condom aisle of a grocery store, and everybody who hears it comes up to me and says, like, you know, it's so awkward to shop for condoms in grocery stores, but the song is a character who's experiencing no embarrassment about it whatsoever. So they are taking exactly the opposite message of what presumably I am, the character I'm playing is.
Do you think that makes it more accessible? Like being able to connect with like the humor in it? Like you say, people are coming at you with the real issues within the songs, but do you think it's the humor that allows them to do that?
Yeah, I think it disarms people. I think when something is coded as serious and important, it kind of enters you in a different way, and there are plenty of times when that is exactly what you need. And I think, you know, this is famously an issue with like the Oscars and stuff, where comedy tends to be less valued than drama and that kind of thing. But like comedy does all of this stuff. And a lot of what it's doing, you're not even realizing, because you're just laughing and you're just taking it in, and it's entering you, and you're processing it, and you're not thinking about it. And it seems like it's not serious. It's very funny to make a raunchy 90s throwback album and like be pretty convinced that like it's meaningful. It means something when you actually perform it, you know, in public.
How do you get that across? Like that this is meaningful, that this is, you know, an art and not some throwaway comedy.
Oh, I mean, I guess doing stuff like this, interviews, for the most part, I definitely don't like, you know, you just play the songs and you make people laugh in actual performance spaces. Maybe I should just go up to people and say, like, hey, y'all need to listen to this really closely. Like, hey, yeah, no talking, please.
Like you're really serious. Yeah. Like, but maybe that is the difference, is we're so inundated right now with so many serious things.
Yes.
that lightness is a chance for us to breathe and then look at things from a different angle.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about this all that much, but yeah, this has been quite a week to release a Kickstarter in terms of world events. So it is, I do think, without getting too deep into the specifics, because I do want to keep things mostly light when I'm talking about the album, but it's been meaningful just to have a performance in the last few days, because I think it, when people get together, we had a show at Last Bus Comedy. It sold out. I already mentioned that the funding's been going really well for the Kickstarter, and I think people needed it. And it's not just about, what you're resisting. You have to remember what you are, what you're defending. You have to remember what you're fighting for: joy and community and togetherness, and that's the stuff that gives you the energy and the desire to do anything to begin with.
Yeah. Deep breath. Because I definitely have been feeling that lately, and we talked about that before we got on the air about the role of comedy, the role of art in these times, and essentially just landed on how important it is to keep going with these things that are beautiful and things that provide levity.
Yeah.
And so here we are. So let's get into some of that. Let's maybe PowerPoint presentation next.
Sure, sounds good.
So tell us about this song. Where did this song come from?
This is the one I was mentioning before that I wrote for Verge After Dark about 15 minutes before I went and brought it on stage. And most of it never changed. This is mostly exactly as it... And this is, for what it's worth, this is kind of the song that unlocked all the other songs, because I was doing a bunch of comedy music at the time, and some of them were hitting better than others, and this is the one where I kind of realized that this is a whole lane that works, and I can build off of this. So
all right. So here he is, Hot Kyle Sorensen, coolest kid in sexed.com, with PowerPoint presentation right here on KJLT.
Presentation in 15 minutes. Got my slides ready to go. Presentation in 15 minutes. I'm gonna put on such a show. Presentation in 10 more minutes. Got my transitions all mapped out. Presentation in 10 more minutes. All the ladies gonna scream and shout. I got a PowerPoint presentation in the conference room. I got a PowerPoint presentation coming up at noon. Once I show off my skills in Microsoft, those business dresses will be coming off. Yes, I'll happily be your groom after my PowerPoint presentation in the conference room. Presentation in 5 more minutes. I loaded that shiz up with the best clip art. Presentation in 5 more minutes. You know it's gonna be off the charts. I got a PowerPoint presentation in the conference room. I got a PowerPoint presentation dropping really soon. After they hear these laser sound effects, it's gonna be a marathon of sex. Yes, I'll happily be your groom after my PowerPoint presentation in the conference room. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, marry me. Yeah, only one of you can marry me. But I'll happily be your groom after my PowerPoint presentation in the conference room.
You got an amazing growl going on there.
Kind of inhabit some kind of Elvis thing eventually with that.
Who is this businessman?
I think that's kind of like, that was the thing I unlocked. I figured out, like, it's funny for me to be like that. If you're not aware, I'm not like that in most of my regular life. So
What? Shocking. That's true. Like, some of this project, even like I said, seeing Kyle the first time on stage at this Rocky Horror thing, I was like, wait a minute, like, this is not the kind of shy, like, pretty mellow singer-songwriter that I've known. Like, who is this guy?
I mean, that's true too. I when I was in high school, when I was like the coolest kid in sex ed, I was a lot more like the kid in that thing where I was just anxious, and I had not only did I not perform, I didn't even want to perform. That just seemed like a thing that other people do.
So what changed?
It was just a very slow progression. I mean, I started with, I wrote music. I wrote instrumental music when I was younger, and then I picked up guitar when I was 20, and I wanted to share what I'd made. I created stuff, and I wanted to share it, and so naturally that slowly moved me toward at least playing for other people, and then I was taking improv, and initially I just wanted to take the classes and have fun, but then you have to do showcases, and then people ask you to be in shows, and then you have to be in front of people and on stage, and that was like for a good 2 years. It was exhausting and scary, and I definitely got loads of stage fright. We actually you did a Tales from the Verge once upon a time.
I did.
Yeah. And we weren't in the same show, but I did a Tales from the Verge too around the same time, and that was the first time I ever did any performing. Like the first time I was did a thing just by myself on stage. So you've known me the whole period of time I've been doing whatever this is.
Oh wow.
And so it's been this, I mean, now I've gotten to the point where it would be safe to call it a little bit of a form of coming out. Not I think the Rocky thing is apt. Like the idea of just kind of allowing yourself to show yourself to the world and all of your different facets and all of that kind of, yeah. People see me performing these songs, and they're like, whoa, that's in you can do that. Yeah.
How has that been, introducing these different sides more openly to all the people you know?
Yeah, I mean, now I've kind of integrated. I think I wouldn't have been able to do it if I wasn't somewhat integrated of a person. But I think my whole younger life I had all kinds of compartments that I lived in, and was very, very concerned to keep my high school self separated from the person that my parents saw, and keep that
right.
Separated from, I don't know, my teacher or whatever. Like, and even now I inhabit all of these different worlds. I work at PBS, and I'm doing this this sex comedy thing, and the people at work like it a lot. But it is, I think it's fine. I hope it's fine to inhabit both of those worlds.
But then you talked about like having a spiritual community as well, and those people.
Yep, I'm a member of the synagogue, and I play liturgical music there on Shabbat services. So fit that all together, everybody. Figure it out.
Yeah. I am vast. Contain multitudes.
And what's crazy is they inform each other too. Like, for the show I did on Saturday, I ended. It was like this. It was a perfect ending for the fundraiser, and we did this group sing of Wonderwall, Oasis's Wonderwall, and everybody was on stage, and they were like holding. They had their hands on their backs, and they're swaying back and forth and that kind of thing, and it was just a big sing along, and that's what I do at the synagogue. It's the same thing. It's just kind of being the I guess the hub around which you are focusing like a communal energy, but you're not like it's not about spotlighting yourself. It's just about like you're the one who's playing the music so that everybody can experience a collective experience. Yeah.
Is there some catharsis in these songs then for you?
Oh yeah, yes, for sure. Also, they're just like melodically. I spend a fair amount of time on the melodies of these things, and they're fun to sing. A song won't get done unless I like singing it, and I think sometimes even to the detriment of jokes. Like I think I kind of figured it out with Coolest Kid in Sex Ed, but that song is a slow build. Like the beginning, it's fun, but it's not hilarious. It eventually builds to like the rap and
the Fresh Prince breakdown.
Yeah. But that song is pretty. It's a pretty song.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like it. That's the thing that allows me to keep playing it. I'm not sick of playing the guitar part on it.
So you're taking your serious songwriting skills and essentially putting comedy lyrics on top of them.
And also, it's the same process for writing non-funny songs as funny songs, in the sense of like I still do the same kind of, I was talking about the magazine thing and the collaging and blah blah blah. And I do the same stuff. It's just, the things that I will pull out would be different kinds of words and different kinds of juxtapositions. But a sincere or a serious song would be more likely to have like continuity between the tone of the music and what the lyrics are about. Whereas a comedy song, which what I'll play here in a second, is you have a sad song, but then the content of it is, it is more absurd. That there's contrast between how it feels. And I tend to think of like the music as being like the emotional core. Like that's the truth of the character. And so you have to step outside of the tone of it to understand. You have to step outside of the sphere that is the spell that is being cast by the song to get the comedy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What is your goal here? Like not the Kickstarter goal, but like your own personal. Like, what do you want to come from this?
It's a good question. I don't even know if I've had enough time to step back to think that far ahead. A lot of this project in the first place was not conceived of from the top down. I had written all of these songs independently over the course of many years, and I got to this point where I realized that there was a project here, and I had a lot of people who said I should record, and so this is right now. It's me kind of like making it happen and pushing myself, doing radio. I was telling you before we actually were recording. This is not me for the most part. I'm a fairly public person among like the people that I'm in person with, but I'm not on social media very much. I've had to suddenly learn Instagram over the last few weeks. So yeah, I think it is if we were talking about Rocky Horror as being this evolution and this coming out of a form, I guess this is like a continuation of that process, like just trying to be who I am, like show who I am fearlessly, and try to set an example so that other people feel like they can do the same kind of thing. And all of it is in the service of community. What I would like to do, if this album is successful, is I've made a Kickstarter video that was very well produced, and I'm really proud of it. And a lot of the money that I'm raising is going to be going towards music videos, and so that's going to allow me to collaborate with other people and actors and other people at the comedy club, and coordinate all of that kind of stuff until there's a working relationship, and I can work on projects for other members of the community, or develop other kinds of projects, and open up in much the same way that Last Best Comedy became, a new stage, a new platform for people to develop themselves. I'd like this project to eventually become an extension of that kind of thing.
If you're just tuning in, I am talking to Kyle Sorensen, a.k.a. Hot Kyle, a.k.a. the coolest kid in sex ed. You can find more information at thecoolestkidinSexEd.com. You mentioned, Kyle, that this is sex comedy. Like, what does that mean for you?
It's funny. I do like when I'm talking to synagogue people, for instance, I often find myself, and I've been seeking fundraising for this, and I try and step back a little bit and be like, yes, there's a lot of sex in these songs. There's multiple songs about masturbation on this album, but I don't think that the songs are ever actually about sex. Sex is, I think, one of the reasons it's one of the eternally funny topics. Just in general, funny things are taboo. Like we need to be pushing a little bit up against the edges of like what is comfortable for a lot of humor to even work. You know, that's why farts are funny to toddlers.
Just toddlers.
Yeah. And things that we can't control about ourselves or bodily processes are particularly funny. But I think a lot of it is, it codes much more into status or self-identity, which is why I guess like when I named it The Coolest Kid in Sex Ed, I realized like it kind of worked because puberty is a period of time where you're just trying on different identities, trying to figure out who you are. And I don't know what this is about like American culture. Maybe this is just the world culture that like we decide once you get to 18, you're an adult and you've figured stuff out. I guess millennials got to have that word adulting. They figured out like a way to maybe still be a little bit immature while you're still an adult. But like the reality, which should be clear through what the story I've been telling, is that like you grow through, or at least you can grow, and I hope you do grow through your entire life. And all of that requires confronting awkwardness and doing things that are dumb or scary, or doing things that you don't think fit into your actual identity, and then finding it out. And when you're a teenager, you do this because you have to, and you know you decide like I like My Chemical Romance or something like that, and so I'm gonna dress like them and hang out in like a specific hallway with the other goth or scene or emo kids or whatever, and that's not you. You're just figuring it out, and you find out if it's you, and part of it probably is you, and part of it isn't. And so keep doing that for your whole life, please. Everyone who's listening.
Keep doing that. Find out who you are.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the idea of sex as well, then? Like find out who you
now
are.
I went so far afield. Yeah. Now I don't even remember how I got there. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was talking about status and stuff. It's just that like, sex is just this like stand-in for if I'm in the PowerPoint song. What's funny is that it's not even just sex. It's that he's gonna get married. Yeah, which is even funnier because it's even more insane, and is specifying only one. He's only gonna marry one woman because obviously there will be multiple women who are
so turned on by his PowerPoint presentation,
and
and
so
his prowess. Yes.
So he's not talking about. It's not about sex. It's about him being so like sure of himself that like this is gonna be the thing that breaks him out, and everybody finally understands like, oh man, that was a good PowerPoint. I think I'm gonna marry this guy and have all my kids with him.
So sex comedy then it really is just relational comedy.
Yeah. I mean, there may be. I don't want to speak for everybody and all sex comedy, but how it gets used for my songs tends to be that way. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Is there anything we haven't covered that you want to talk about, that you want people to know about you or the music?
Well, so I take it we're going to finish off on one final song?
I believe we should.
I
don't think we should leave them hanging without this last song.
Well, I was just wondering if I should play the song and if there's any final things to say after it.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
We can do all the things.
To be honest, this has been a good conversation. You're asking good questions.
That's why they pay me the big bucks as a volunteer.
You're making me be super sincere.
Well, thank you. Yeah. That is my skill as a journalist and interviewer, I guess. Is trying to get to the heart of people and their art. Like it's.
I know I'm limited about like promoting things too much, but I hope that this has been something that people have found interesting and that they want to explore more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you have more shows coming up? I know you just did the last best comedy storytelling.
The other big show that I have on the books will be in Livingston and at the Empire Theater, and I will be performing a few songs for TMI, which I mentioned before, with Bex Frucht.
And is that the February TMI?
Yes, and Still have to work out some details with Bex, but I think there will be a little bit more than the standard TMI show, like of sprinkling in stuff from the album.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
All right. So again, for more information, coolestkidinSexEd.com. You're also on Instagram as Hot Kyle, I believe, which is great. It made me laugh when I was like, this just the evolution, seeing your evolution, like, and it's happened before. Like, there's another person who was my apprentice here on this show forever ago, and then a couple Christmases ago, headlined Last Best Comedy.
Oh.
And it was such a shift because when she was my apprentice, she could barely talk on the mic. And so to see that and how much work we did to get her comfortable on the mic, to being a working comedian, like touring comedian, that is how she makes her living. Like,
I mean,
it's so neat to see these, the growth trajectories, and that's part of the joy of community, I think, is having known you for so long, having, like you get to see the growth and the change and how you're integrating the different sides of yourself, and it's really beautiful.
I think that's what it's all about.
It is.
So.
All right, we have one last song. It is called "Cock Blocking Myself." Do you want to say any more than that?
No, actually, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll figure it out.
All right.
All right. I'm just your standard Sigma who works out quite a lot. I track all of my macros to make sure I look hot. I cultivate a winning grind set to manifest the things I need. But every time I try to pull chicks, I never quite succeed. And even though my bros Kevin and Tyler say I've got game, I think I've been infected with low T beta brain. Because I want more French kissing, but there's something I'm missing, and I need some help. Can't seem to stop cock blocking myself. Usually when you get cock blocked, it's by another guy. But babes reject me one-on-one, and I don't understand why. I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. I follow Andrew Tate. I take cold showers every morning. Why don't I have a mate? Is there some hidden lever or button or secret code, a mod that I could download that turns on sexy mode? Because my search for snuggles is just leading to struggles. I'm not doing well. Can't seem to stop cock blocking myself. Sometimes when I'm outside the gym at night, I'll look up at the the stars that shine so bright. And like a protein supplement for the soul, it makes me feel swole. Pull-ups can be lonely. Deadlifts can be sad. I can looks max all I want. I'll never be a Giga Chad. This world can be so awful, so cruel and complex. But there's nothing quite as tragic as a bro who's undersexed. And sure, there's war and famine and social injustice and poverty, but then there's also poking a P inside a V. So shower me with your pity cry, a tear for me too, and wish me good health, 'cause I can't seem to stop cock blocking myself. Ooh, yeah, yeah, cock blocking myself, cock blocking myself. Yeah, yeah.
Hey. I see what you mean about the melody being, it is very similar to what you were doing before. It's just, you've very much changed up a delivery. Very nice, bruh. But also the lyrical content, of course. So.
And it's very it's a legit emotional song. It's not like I'm singing that and not going through some of it.
Yeah.
He's got a few, I don't agree with all of his ideas.
Fair. Fair. But the emotional core is what you're going for.
And also I think it connects you, it's like you can he's got some wrong ideas perhaps, but it's sincere. He wants connection. So yeah.
Right. And we forget that sometimes, that even reaching out in terms of our sexuality and things, that it is reaching out for connection and for other people, for our community. Whatever that may be. Gosh, what else do I have for you? I got any more questions?
I mean, we've spoken of many, many things.
We have spoken of many, many things. I so appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming in.
I really appreciate you, putting me on, and it's good to reconnect with you. It's been a while, so
yeah, and a great conversation. I hope all you out there over the airwaves have enjoyed it as much as I have in this last hour, getting to know Kyle a little more and hearing some of his latest music. How are you feeling about this whole project now? It's been live for a whole 3 days, right? But the music is done, and
I mean, it changes every day. It's only been an emotional roller coaster for all kinds of reasons. For it to have launched on the day that it did, with all the stuff going on, wasn't I didn't love that. It having had a great premiere show that was truly like an amazing moment of community bonding was like a really huge high. I've cried plenty. I am both relieved to have funded as much as I have, and then still plenty anxious about getting over the final hump. Yeah. And I'm sure everybody is following along, and they're like, it's gonna make it, and I'll get to donating at some point or another. But you know what? When you're on the other side of it, you're like, just donate, please, just donate.
Right? It's,
if you want to
the
do it,
anxiety is real. Are you gonna write a song about it?
Could happen. Maybe that's the next comedy album. Just me,
my
yelling at my fans.
My various anxieties. Yeah. I could write that, I think. It's like, oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I've very much enjoyed this. This is Kyle Sorensen, Hot Kyle. Again, you can find more information, coolestkidinSexEd.com. And that leads to the Kickstarter, and from there you can find YouTube videos and all sorts of things.
Yes,
so.
there's I'm suddenly a content machine. There's all kinds of stuff appearing on the internet, or will be.
Appearing on the internet. Where will it be appearing?
A lot of it will be on Instagram. I did an interview for KGVM yesterday, and so that's already on YouTube. Pat Loken had me in his studio, and I did something similar to this. With though, different series of questions. So it's kind of cool to do these and, work my way through what am I doing live with other people. So,
what am I doing? Let me solidify my own thoughts. Yes, I very much understand that. Well, thanks again.